People who feel good about themselves make other people feel good. When I implement these 10 habits I'm going to talk about today, this help me become that best person that I possibly can be. And it's all about consistency and making life much easier for me. Hi, my name is Maureen. Thank you for joining me today. I wake up in the morning, and after I use the restroom and do everything I need to do, then I go into gratitude. The first thing I do is know what I'm grateful for, whether it's sleeping through the night without any problems, whether it's that I'm just grateful that I can get out of bed and I have 2 legs and 2 feet. Not everybody has 2 legs and 2 feet. I'm just so grateful that I'm able to wake up and get out. I'll go into prayer. I go into meditation, and that helps me start my day out in a very positive way. I focus on gratitude, and it just helps me start my day great. I stay off technology. Start your day with no technology. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hydrate. We lose about a half a cup of fluid a night, whether we're using the restroom, whether we're menopausal or past menopausal. There's still things that as a woman, that we go through. So hydrating is a great way to start your day off. Remember that. Because especially as we get older, we tend to drink less fluids. So when we start off and we have fluids, it starts our metabolism and our body can start to begin to flow and move. It also helps with our mind clarity. The third thing I do, it's a habit that I implement into my life, is I try to declutter. I declutter something every single day. There was a book out back in the 80s. I don't know if it was Zig Ziglar. It was called 5-Minute Manager. Now, of course, this was in the work area, but I've implemented that throughout my life. I'll go into a drawer and I'm going to try to clean out the extra papers that I have or extra pens, or I may have stuff laying around like a pen. I'm going to take this pen and I'm going to put it away. But just take 5 minutes and start to do that. It also helps declutter our mind. When our home is decluttered, we are decluttered. Our mind is decluttered, and it helps us to think clearer and to focus much more better and more consistency. Fourth thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write a daily plan out, my activities, my to-do list. It may be small and it may be long, but if I don't prioritize, I can get caught up in the moment and forget about, oh gosh, the one important thing I needed to do for the day, whether it be pick up a prescription or go to the grocery store because I need a loaf of bread, because my husband needs a sandwich, or we're having company. I need to prioritize it. Writing things down helps us remember much better. And as a baby boomer, I don't know, sometimes we get a little brain fog, or sometimes we're not going to remember like we did when we were 20. So prioritize your day. And then what you do is when you write it all down on a piece of paper, you can take a snapshot, a visual snapshot of everything you need to do, and you work your way. You prioritize your top items. For me, it may be exercise, and then it may be going into the office, but my health is number one. So I'm always going to exercise. So for me, that's my priority. Your priority might be something completely different than mine. It's going to help me remember. I'm going to be able to scratch out what I've accomplished. I'm going to be able to check it off. And for me, that's also mentally liberating that I'm able to do that. The sixth thing is don't procrastinate. If you have something to do that takes less than 2 minutes, do it. Don't procrastinate. Do it. It takes less than 2 minutes to do, maybe less than a minute to do. Your kitchen is clean, but you may have 2 coffee cups sitting on the counter. Get those 2 cups and wash them. Get those 2 cups, put them in the dishwasher. Take that fork that you forgot to clean the night before. Get rid of that. It helps you keep a nice, clean home. And if that's not your thing, then maybe making your bed. Making your bed makes you feel accomplished. You want to start your day off good. And maybe it's something as simple as just making your bed. You decide what's best for you in your procrastinating or non-procrastinating day. Smile. A smile is free. That is my 7th habit that I do. When you go out and you see somebody, you don't know what kind of day they're having, and you may be the only person that they're interacting with that day. A smile costs nothing, and it can make or break somebody's day. If you walk past them and just have a scowl on your face, or if you smile, whether they reciprocate or not, it doesn't matter. Smiling releases endorphins. I mean, that muscle activity that goes into your brain releases endorphins, and it just really can be a life changer for somebody, because we may not know what they went through 5 minutes ago, 5 days ago, or 5 years ago. So that one smile can make all the difference in the world. It brings joy to others, and it shows others that we also have joy. And I think that's really important. Now, of course, not every day we're going to go out and say, yay, it's a great day and I'm feeling great. But sometimes you have to fake it until you make it. And trust me, it does work. Move, number 8, move and exercise. We were not designed as human beings to sit on a couch or in a chair and do nothing. Now, I'm not going to judge you. If you're feeling bad or you're sick, you have to do what's best for you. And like I've spoke about in the past, sometimes, like when I was going through cancer and I was going through chemotherapy, sometimes the only activity I was able to do was to get from the bed to go to the bathroom. But I was moving and I needed to move. Once I went to the bathroom, maybe I was able to get out of bed and go to the couch. That's one thing. I personally love to exercise. I love doing Pilates. I love staying healthy. I like to see the results. It makes me feel better mentally, and I can be better for somebody else. So even if it's a load of laundry, for some people that is exercise. Doing a load of laundry to me is heaven. I love doing laundry. It makes me feel accomplished. I love the smell of a clean load of laundry. If you can hang it out on the line, that's even more exercise. That's burning more calories. That's moving your body. That's important to do. So just try to move and exercise. 9, make a daily goal. Whether your goal is to exercise, whether your goal is to clean the car, whether your goal is to organize or clean your refrigerator, be goal-oriented. It gives you motivation to get through the next activity in your daily living. The 10th, and I think it's almost the most important thing we can do next to our daily prayer for me, is get rid or eliminate the toxic people in your life. That is very difficult to do. But as a baby boomer, we've lived a life and we know what it's like to be around people we want or choose to be around. And we also know what it's like to dread to go to an event or dread to pick up the phone knowing somebody that we just don't want to talk to, or that's toxic or doesn't bring anything into our life. These toxic people can be so full of drama, and I'm sorry, I've earned the right at this time in my life to have a drama-free life. Now, we all have family that we love, and some may be more high maintenance, I'll call them high maintenance, than others. Okay, love them, hear them, listen to them, and when the chaos starts, we can set boundaries, establishing boundaries to say, nope, in your head, I'll say this in my head, nope, I don't need this. And I'll say, I'm so sorry, I've got things I need to do. It was great talking to you. But eliminate these toxic people in our life. We're giving them free rent in our head, dreading that phone call or dreading that interaction. Take all of the dreadful free rent that we're giving toxic people out of our life so we can fill it with kind and goodness, so we can go out and be that person for others. It takes a lot of motivation and willpower to establish these 10 habits that I like to implement daily. Start off with one so you don't feel so overwhelmed, and so you can start off and feel successful. If you've accomplished one, the next day you do 2, and then before you know it, you've established 10 healthy lifestyles that you've incorporated into your life. 21 days it takes to establish a headache. Those 10 habits could change. You could remove making daily goals, and you could substitute that with riding a bike. I don't know. Your list is going to be different than mine, but these are my 10 daily habits I like to implement. Become your best self. And again, we are not going to be defined by what other people think or say about us. We are going to define ourselves. I hope each of you goes out and has a wonderful day, and go out and make a memory.